Hello everybody and welcome to 360 video editing with iPads. Really excited to bring the session to you, and we're live here, and we're going to go over 360 video and how to use them with editing. So it's the GoPro Fusion. It's available through our library partners. How we can control it in the iPad using GoPro Quik software. So it's really exciting. It lets you basically, the camera and your iPad can be a total production tool. So you can go and shoot things. You can then go back to your iPad and you can do editing and make it all happen and work. So it's a really exciting demo that we'll go through today. So I just want to thank all our library partners and all our partners in this project. So we have the Canada Council for the Arts. We have our 3 library partners: Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, Wasaga Beach Public Library. And what I'll talk about today too is that you can access this 360 technology. The cameras are available to take out through the technology loans through all the library partners. So we have a GoPro Fusion and a Kodak Pix Pro 360 available at all 3 of the libraries that you can just take out with your library card. So if you have a library card, you can access everything. So today we're going to look at the GoPro Fusion 360 camera, just review it quickly. Digital arts equipment loans, just talk about how you can get it. And then how do we set the camera up, because we got to access it with Wi-Fi. So we'll just talk a bit about that. And then we're going to go right into the GoPro Quik app and accessing footage and downloading it and making it work so that we can do some editorial with it on our iPad, or at least even just to be able to rewatch it. Is one of the first steps. So we'll go through the control and the concepts of the GoPro Quik app, and that's a free app. So you can just download that using the app feature. So you go to the App Store, download GoPro Quik, and then you can control not just the GoPro Fusion, but any GoPro camera you can control with that app. I think maybe not the original GoPros, but I think from like 3 or 4 up, everything can be controlled through Wi-Fi, and you can see the media too, and we'll look at how that works. So the 2 cameras, so the Kodak 360 camera plus the GoPro Fusion 360 camera, these are available at all 3 library partners. So Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, Wasaga Beach Public Library. And the kit that you take out, it consists of the camera, media cards, batteries, and also some mini tripods. There's no proficiency test required, so you just can go and take it out. So it's really for anybody. If you have a library card, we want you to go take it out. They're super easy to use. And in terms of the GoPro Fusion that we're looking at today, this is the camera. It comes just in a case. So you get the case, the camera. There'll be like a little mini tripod, so you can attach the camera to a mini tripod, use it as like a selfie stick, or you can put it on desks. So in the case of the GoPro mini tripod, it looks like this, and then you can extend it out to make it like this. So you can see it can be like a selfie stick. It can just be on a desk as a tripod. So it's a really great tool to be able to use. And that's all you need to do. And then to record with these, this is how simple it is. You turn the camera on. You don't even have to press the power on, but you just hit the front. There's a record button, and we have this covered in other videos and workshops, but you just hit the record button and you're recording. Now, the only thing to keep in mind is, again, with 360 is there's a stitch line where the cameras don't exist. So there's a camera on the front, there's a camera on the back. Then the rest is called the stitch line, because that's where it has to meld the sphere together of the 360 video. So as long as you don't have anything important in the stitch line, you can just walk with this. You can mount it on a desk, you can put it on a helmet, you can do anything just like you would a GoPro. And you hit record and off you go. That's how simple it is to use this the hardware of the cameras. So really, really easy to use. So those are the kits, and please, definitely go check them out, take them out, and you'll see how easy they are to use. Point and shoot. And how does it work? So the Creator Space, the whole project consists of workshops, digital arts computers, and digital arts loan equipment. So this is part of the digital arts loan equipment. We have video, sound, photography, and lighting equipment. So these are all available at each partner library, and you can access them just with if you're a library member of any of these 3 libraries, or if you can access it through library partnership deals, you will have access to this equipment to use from all the libraries. Some equipment, such as the video camera, sound, and photography, there's also online proficiency tests. So you just go to our website, tbmcs.ca, do the proficiency test, we get an email, and then you're good to go, because that means you've passed it. And it's really, we're there. It's all geared towards their success and for a good experience with the equipment. So there's tutorial videos that we've put together that really outline specifically the cameras and how to use them. And you can also, we have a ton of videos on the camera and 360 production that you can access too. But today the goal is to how can we work with this camera and an iPad and make it all work and connect. So let's get right into the demo. So one of the first things we need to do is you need to make sure your camera's turned on. So there's the power button on the side, and then there's an LED screen, and we know it's on. It'll beep 3 times, it'll go beep, 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 and we know that the camera's on. So it just needs to be turned on. The next thing you need to do is just look that you're connecting through it to in your Wi-Fi through your iPad. In this case, iPad, it could be an iPhone too. And you can see right here, it says Mountain Goat Fusion. So this is my own GoPro Fusion camera, and it's linked through Wi-Fi. Now, how does that work? There's a little Wi-Fi password that it will ask for, and you can access that through the settings. So it will ask, hey, you know, what Wi-Fi are you on, and so on. And the way it works is you go through mode, and you end up in the settings mode, and then the Wi-Fi it'll give you a code, and I think it's pretty standard on all of them. And then you'll enter the code to access the Wi-Fi, just like any other Wi-Fi password. So each camera is a little bit different. So there's a unique code for it. So you'll just access that and connect it. And there's a lot of videos on this as well through GoPro. The main thing is you need to make sure that your Wi-Fi is connected. So right now you can see it's connected. I have the check mark beside it, and that means we're good to go. So initially, when you open this app, so I'm going to go to GoPro Quik, and I'm going to hit this camera icon on the top. It says that we're connected. So this allows me to operate the camera, see it, and I'm connected. Now at the top here, there's a little plus camera, and this is going to search for more cameras. It says no camera found. So if you had another camera, it's going to find it, and it's going to prompt you to do the connections and figure out the Wi-Fi code. So the camera menu internally will give you a Wi-Fi access code, and you type that in. So once you're connected, you can control the GoPro. So I'm going to just start a preview. We've demonstrated this before. So just right here in the editing suite here, so streaming to you, this is the preview mode, right? So of a 360, and then I'm controlling this with the iPad, just with my fingers. I'm able to swipe around, and you guys can see me. So that's how that works. So and then you can just hit record. You can change the settings, and that's how great it is to do that. Now I'm going to go over here to the media, and here now is a listing of all the different files that I've captured. So I'm just going to go to something a bit earlier, a little bit of a walk here that I see. So let's go to this one right here. And now it's accessing actual media. So I can click on any of these files. It's going to access the media. Seems to be stuck. Let's try that again. So I'm just go back to the camera, view media, loading media. Go to one of these older shots here. Oh, let's go to this one. I think I'm just outside of. There we go. Okay. So this is something I just captured here, just outside of my house. So that's that shot. Let's find something else. Let's maybe a little bit different. Let's go to this. Let's try this one again. It's going to take a second to load. There we go. Okay, so this is a bit of a walking shot. Now what I can do is I can download it, and it's going to just download the whole original shot to the iPad. So it's going to take about a minute. So that's what we want to do. First, you hit that button, the download arrow. You're going to download it onto your actual iPad. So what this is doing is it's changing it. So before, when I'm previewing it, it says low res preview. What that means is it's just previewing it through Wi-Fi. It can't give you the full, in this case, it's like 5.2K video image of the 360. It's just previewing it in like a low res proxy, it's called. But we're gonna actually download the full file, the MP4 file for editing. So now we don't need to actually attach it to the iPad. We're just gonna download it through this Wi-Fi signal. And it doesn't take too long, so about 30 seconds, takes maybe double the time. So you can see here we have, it took about a minute to do about 33 seconds. So it's about 2-to-1 ratio seems to be the average here. So 15 seconds, it's gonna totally download it. And now I have the whole 30 seconds once this is done that I can then edit and output in its full 360 resolution in that 5.2K MP4. So here we go. There we go. Okay. So now I can view this media. So now I actually have this media downloaded. So here's the 30 seconds. Okay, so it says it might struggle. So you can see here's my shot, and you can see the quality is quite nice, and I'm able to see it. So I'm just going to go in this mode now, so you can actually see it vertically or horizontally from vertical. Give you a little bit of better perspective, and I'm able to just move things around, and it can play, and so on. So now, how do we do some editing? So let's look at this. I have a scissors button here, so maybe I want to just start it from like here. So I can hit this, and then I can just highlight. So I'm just sliding it over. Maybe I just want that 17 seconds. Perfect. So then I can save that, and it's going to save as new clip. And it's pretty quick. So instead of dealing with the 30-second clip, I'm now dealing with a 15-second clip. So now it's saved and it's shorter. So that's great. Now what I can do is the next step. I can decide what I want people to see. So I can zoom in. And what we can do is basically put in what's called like keyframes. So I can go right here. So that's a keyframe there. So let's say I want that. And let's say here, I want it to go like that. Let's say here, I want to spin it around and make it go like that. Okay, so let's go back to here and watch what it does now. So I can spin things around and change perspectives as I go. And maybe here, I want to go back to that. So I just tap on it every time I want to do that. I can tap on it again to do a new edit if I want to. And let's go from the beginning here now. It warps it through, and I can go like that. So this is the beauty of the 360 camera and the GoPro Quik App, is that I can immediately do this kind of editorial. So how do we do this? So again, we did some trimming, and then what we did was we added these beautiful keyframes. So I can continue that around. Maybe I want to go here. So let's watch this again. This is what the audience will see. So it's pretty cool because I'm like kind of zooming in and out and up. This is the beauty. So just beyond 360 being a regular like 360 camera that you can then just post in a 360 mode, I can do, this is what's called over capture editing. And that's the difference, because I can just export this on its own and just say, okay, let's post it, get it out there, and not do any editing with it. So I can do the two options. So that's really the main thing. So you can just do the editorial, just take the clip in. It's a 360 clip just by default. Export it out, and you can post it on like social media, or you can do this kind of over capture techniques where you're spinning it, zooming it, and doing that. And you're doing this all just with your fingers. So you're hitting the play button, fingers, squeezing things around, putting in those keyframes. And the keyframe again is from, a one key moment. So you go from point A to point B, and then the software calculates what's necessary to achieve from point A to morph it into that new kind of shot of what we're seeing later on. So once again, what does that look like? So here we go. You can see we're like morphing it around, one keyframe, going to the next keyframe, zooming in, and then spinning up at the sky. That's pretty cool. So that looks pretty neat. Like how does that work? So now if I'm happy with that, I can go save, and I'm going to say render video. And it's going to take a little bit of time. So it's just taking new media, and it's really nice to use that little bar as it's going. And it has a good note here. It says, make sure to keep the app open while saving, because you definitely don't want to end the app, close it down, and then you're not able to finish the project or finish saving. So that's really, really important, just to let it do its thing. It takes a little bit of time. Again, we're only dealing with 10 seconds. So I think that's the key too, is as you're exploring this app, exploring 360 footage, work with smaller file sizes. Your iPad most likely won't be able to handle like a 1 hour shot. It just won't have enough memory. Work with 10-second shots just to get used to it and to try the stuff out. You can see here the camera now, it just beeped, it's turning itself off, but we don't lose anything because we've already downloaded this to the local storage on the iPad. So you also have to make sure that you have storage space available on your iPad. I did some cleaning out before because the one I'm demoing with, this has 32 gigs of RAM. So new iPads will have 64 gigs, the same regular iPad. So that's a nice thing too, that you can actually go that route. Okay, render successful. So that's it. So now it's in my app media gallery. So now I can share this whole beautiful render, and then going up like that. You can see on the bottom it gives me options. So Instagram, YouTube, or I can send it to myself, like an email or something like that. But you can go right to your Instagram, and it wants to open Instagram. It's going to ask you that. You can open and so on. So you can save to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or send it out to yourself. And that's it. And that's it. I can just close that now. That's been worked on. Now I can save draft. Okay, and we can go back to this original video again. So I'm going to take the 9-second. Okay, and now it's just in a 360 mode. And so this is how we would do it in a normal mode. Oops. So here we're in the 360 mode. I can go to regular HD mode, so I can see what it looks like. I can go to 4:3 mode. So this is how you can just kind of see what it looks like in different aspect ratios. But that globe is what gives you the overall mode of 360. So then when I'm ready, I can hit this, and I can save to photos, or I can share media. So I can just save this to my photo. And this says 360 media may be limited with some apps and devices. Got it. Okay. So it's going to save it. This 9-second clip. It's going to save it as a MP4, and that can be uploaded to Facebook. That supports 360 video, and YouTube. It supports 360 video, and also Vimeo would support 360 video. So you can upload it directly to any of those, video services. And then you'd have your video uploaded, and it would be ready to go that way. So there's always patience with these things. They do take a little bit longer because it is a pretty high quality video. And we're just using an iPad that just, again, we got to remember it's not a supercomputer versus desktops with, they're still, small portable, tablet. So it doesn't have necessarily the highest, abilities to work on that. So that's how we can save it. Then you can upload it from there. So that's how we saved it directly as a 360 video. And again, once you start doing any kind of work with these, once I start keyframing, it goes back into our modes here. Okay, so let's say I don't like what I did I'm going to go back to here, and so I can edit this away. I can say, let's zoom in here. Check mark, and now I've changed it. So now I start like this. It spins up around. But it looks like we're zooming through like space. It's really cool. So this is taking the 360 mode into what's called overcapture. So we're taking 360, which is the whole sphere, like a one-to-one box of a sphere that's wrapped, and or 2-to-1, I should say. And then what happens is now we're looking at it in 16:9. Right? So that's what we're able to do. And here we can go to the different formats. So you can just save it as a 1-to-1 for Instagram. You can do 4:3. You can do 9:16. Again, if it's for for phone sharing. So 9:16 is like a vertical phone, and this is a horizontal phone. So just think about where you want to share it and how that's going to work. And that's that's a way to do it. So I'm just going to save draft, and all we're doing is saving those keyframes. And all along, it's always available just as a regular 360 video. And this is the cool thing. So remember, in 360 video, if I just kind of level this out, we can totally see everything. If you spin all the way around, right? Like this is what it's captured. I think this is what we got to remember is what's amazing about 360. So all the way around, and then I can go all the way. You'll see me, I'm carrying it. And you can do this whole spin around the 360 as well. So it's a total spherical representation in that clip, all done with this tiny little camera. So, think about the possibilities. Like if you're, want to do a quick virtual tour, or you want to do like a tour of a gallery opening, use these kinds of tools. They're really easy to use. You can put it right on here. You can see how quickly I can do those keyframes. Get the keyframe video out, and it can do a quick highlights reel of, what's going on. So let's go back to this again. So, so again, imagine if we're really trying to show the space. So here we can really go into like, wow, look at that. Look where we are. And then here it could be, I'm showing you a bit of the terminals, and we're spinning around. So the possibilities of this are quite amazing of what it's capable of doing. So save draft, and there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and you just hit those arrows, and you go back to different media files, and just to see what's going on. So you can see the images that are in that little planet style, that spherical spin. That means those are in 360 mode. And then you see the one that has a video camera next to it. That's the one that we've rendered out as the 16:9 video. And that's no longer has the 360 property, so I can't change it back to that. And then we can go here to some editing modes, and we can do some filtration. I don't want to try these. Okay. So, we can just put on like vibe. It's these kind of Instagram filters. So some really fun like filters you can just put on. And it's mainly based on where you are. So yeah, so you can put these little, kind of neat little color filtrations. So okay, let's do that. And then that could be there. And then I can adjust general color settings here. This is the cool thing. So let's pause it. So, if you want to change your exposure, I can, make it darker or brighter. Contrast. So here you can do like all your kind of photo editing type things. Vibrance, how much amount of color is in there. So I can, desaturate the color. Color temperature. Do I want it cooler? Do I want it warmer? I can bring up the shadows. I can darken the shadows to make them really dark. And with the highlights, I can bring them down. more contrast, less contrast, vibrance, let's bring some color back in. It'll be really fun. And then we have all of that. So, again, very different looks. So you can do all of that kind of color grading, color correction to the process as well. And then I can do some framing, so I can adjust, the frame size, spin things around, right? That kind of reframing. And just hit X if you don't like what you've done to it. And then, it's gonna save it as another piece with that adjustment. So here we go. So now here's with our different color grading, kind of a fun, crazier looking colors of skies and so on. So, a lot of fun that can be had with this. And then again, you can go back to the 360 and we can, again, start all from scratch. I think it's really a really great tool how you can just, be able to spin around. So you can take this with you. Even, if let's say you're going through a forest and you want to capture some different elements and take people through that journey. It's a great way to be able to move shots around really quickly. But again, I think there's a lot of great applications for like virtual, and so the entire production, your whole production kit would be this camera, which is tiny, and I'm using an iPad, right? So you have an iPad, you have the camera, that's it. So think of how portable that is, and then you can be posting these videos right away with a virtual tour of a gallery or anything like that. So it's really it's quite robust and amazing what's possible with editing on the 360 app. So GoPro Quik App with the GoPro Fusion camera. So that's essentially what you're able to do. So then what does it what does it look like? Let's just have a look if it's downloaded to the right spot here. Pull it up. I have my photos. Yeah, and it looks like I have. Yeah, so it's put itself into the iPad there, and that's great. So it shows up right in your photos library, and you're able to you can then continue sharing it from there. So if you put this right on YouTube in the 360 mode, YouTube will recognize it as a 360 video, and then you'll end up, people when they watch it, they'll be able to spin it around within YouTube. What's cool about this app though is that I'm able to do these really cool morphing type things where I can kind of go in and zoom out, and that kind of little big planet style stuff like this, which is kind of a neat look. I find that really interesting that you can actually go into that kind of a look with it, and that works really quite nicely in my opinion. To be able to do that. Yeah, so that's a really neat concept there in terms of having these different stylistic concepts that you can do this little big planet look just like that, and that's pretty neat. So just by being able to zoom in and out of it, so that really takes us through the how do we get started with the GoPro Fusion camera, GoPro Quik App. Download it for free on the app, and then you can start editing on your iPad just like that. It's a great tool, and it can work really well in terms of getting get started with some editing with the GoPro Fusion. So we basically have it set up. So you take out the GoPro Fusion, then you can just use one of your apps. We have at the Blue Mountains Public Library have a iPad Pro, and that it's already linked to the GoPro Fusion camera, so you can take out both. So I just wanted to note that option as well, that library does offer both that you can take out at the same time. It's a really interesting tool in terms of what you can use and how you can use it. So again, yeah, thanks for joining me. If you have questions, tom@tbmcs.ca. I'd be happy to answer any kind of tech questions or further things on GoPro 360. But as you can see, it's pretty user intuitive. I'm just playing around with it. I don't use this a lot on the iPad, but it's fantastic just being able to put things together so quickly. So, you're just bringing stuff in, offloading it into the full resolution, putting it onto your iPad. You just need storage space. Then you can do 360 export right to YouTube. You can do edits in different aspect ratios, do some keyframing, spin things around. What a great tool. And I encourage everyone to try it out. And it's, again, very user friendly. That's how we would do 360 video editing with iPads using the GoPro Quik App. So thanks again for joining us. I want to thank all our partners in this. We have the Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, Wasaga Beach Public Library, where you can access these cameras, the GoPro Fusion cameras. Take them out if you have a library card. And I want to thank the Canada Council for the Arts for making this project happen, the Creator Space project. So again, thanks for joining us. You can rewatch this and go through all of this. You will have a lot of fun. I guarantee you, I just had a lot of fun going through this demonstration. And I encourage everyone to try things out, and feel free to send me if you have a video you want to share that you've captured. Love to see it as well. So that's it for now. Please sign up for more workshops, tbmcs.ca. You can go. We have a whole slate of workshops coming up in November, December, continuing the process of digital arts, technology, exploration, demonstrations, and techniques and software suggestions and demos as well, and how to use everything. So again, have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.